Otherwise, they don't let you on.
Oh, because it'll promote. Got it. That's a good tip.
There's a method to our madness, Taylor.
I'm gonna
All
start
right. It
doing.
says we're not on, but I know we are. Yeah, see, we're there. All right. Let's record this for all posterity. Record it to the cloud. All right. I think we got everything else. As Batman would say, turbines to speed. I think we're all ready to go. All right. So I know you guys are here for Whiskey Wednesday, but today it's Whiskey Wednesday gone wild.
Wow.
Yes. And we're really excited today for Whiskey Wednesday Gone Wild because it's tequila and it's not only just any tequila, it's Cape Horn tequila. And it's not just any person here with us today, but it's Taylor Grieger is here and he is making his triumphant return after he did Tequila Rosé, which everybody loved that you were here. I wasn't here. I
You
apologize.
missed out.
I missed out. My kids, family first. I have to take care of them. Um, but we're so glad that you came back today because you have a new product to promote, which is fantastic. We finally got the red, white, and blue.
Red, white, blue.
So we're all very excited about that. So why don't you give a little? You want to talk a little bit about like about the product and why are you into tequila? I think that's sort of that's probably your biggest question you could ask. Why are you into tequila?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Good to see a lot of familiar faces. It's really cool. You guys came back. Thank you. You guys
You
are.
didn't scare him off.
I
That's
know. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. For those of you who this is your first time experiencing Cape Horn tequila, we make this for our nonprofit. We take veterans sailing around the world. This is a way for us to raise funds for the nonprofit. And in its simplest terms, I'm only really good at two things in this world: sailing and making tequila, growing, harvesting agave,
If you're gonna
distilling
be
it.
good at just only two things, that's not a bad
Dude,
too.
if the world ends, man, like I'm set. Who's
Yeah,
not going to want somebody who knows how to sail or make booze? And I'm good. I'm
this will be a fortress. If that happens, this will be a
yeah,
fortress, and you'll all be knocking on the door.
it's going to be prime time. So, yeah, and I'm awful. Things I'm really bad at in this world is raising money, and you have to do that for a nonprofit.
Right.
Had to find another way to do it, and tequila's that for us.
So
And
there's the tequila is really the mechanism for your I know you like tequila, but for your sort of real passion and helping other veterans out.
yeah, absolutely. The only reason we're here in front of you guys is to help Skeleton Crew Adventures, our nonprofit. And honestly, if it wasn't for the nonprofit, I mean, being a salesman is not a fun thing to do. Going around and asking people, I'm sure most people in this room know, people to buy something and trust you that you're making a good product isn't the best life. It's really lonely a lot of times. But I mean, at the end of the day, like if I don't do this, we don't raise money for Skeleton Crew. So
Yeah, but I think you're very good at it, and the reason why I'm going to say you're very good at it is because it's real, it's genuine, and you make no bones about it. This is why I'm here. This is what we're doing. For those of you who haven't seen this, I would say documentary of your journey to Cape Horn, you really should watch it. You can see it on Prime Video. It's really good. It's Hell or High Seas, and it's about your adventure, sort of with your friends, down to reach Cape Horn, and it sort of became like it was really a mission for you to sort of like do something for all the other guys that were in your same position. And I think that's so admirable. And in watching the movie, we see your journey, and in a lot of ways, I think a lot of people can relate to it because it's so genuine and so human. And I was Johnny said he almost cried, and Johnny doesn't cry. He's not even human. He almost shed a tear, and that was probably the closest that he got. But the movie's really great. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest taking some time in one of these rainy days. We only had 13 weekends of rainy days, so take your time out and actually watch it. And that sort of leads us into what you're doing here, and it's all centered around working with people, that have problems readjusting.
Mhm.
to life outside of the military.
Yep. Yeah.
And but I'm watching the movie. I'm waiting for what else is going to go wrong. What else is going to happen? What's going to go wrong now?
Everything.
From pirates to burned out starters to leaky boat. I'm looking. I got to tell you because we haven't really talked about this, and since you're back, I am going to talk about it. I looked at his boat, which is named the Old Lady, right? Because the old lady's going to take you through this, right?
Mhm.
I looked at that boat. I go, there's no way he's sailing that size boat around Cape Horn, making it all the way from Texas to the tip of South America on one of the most treacherous waterways in the world, and you did it, and that's what was great. I loved the end when you saw it because it's all I wanted for you all the way. I just wanted you to get there.
Thank
And
you.
I was so really it was a touching movie and documentary, and you should all see it. All right, enough of that. Let's drink to some tequila.
Yeah.
How
Let's
about
do it.
that? All right, so tell us about how you sort of like how you came up with the tequila. Like, where's the tequila from? How did you decide on this tequila to do?
Cool. Yep. So the beginning of the tequila starts at the end of the film. If you guys watch the film after we rounded Cape Horn, made a promise to the crew. There's conversation. Most of you guys have heard this story before, but there's conversations that happen, especially when you're in the military, and it happens on the boat still today. Whenever you're like, there's a really high chance that we don't come back from this. Like this could be the storm that kills us all. And we were in that storm when we were around Cape Horn, and everyone was looking at each other like, "What are you gonna do?" And what are you gonna do if we don't die? And the off chance that you don't die, what are you gonna do? And my answer was I was gonna go live in Mexico for the rest of my life and work at a government
Right, why
farm.
not?
I'm from Texas, so I'm pretty used to working in dry ranches, climates. That's kind of my thing. While I was sailing, immediately when I got out, while I was sailing and living in Mexico, I fell in love with what real tequila was, and that there's those things that happen to you in your life that are always in the back of your mind, like an ex-girlfriend or something, like it's kind of there. You're like, when it's quiet at times, you're like, dang, man, what is going on over there? That happened to me with tequila. I thought tequila was Jose Cuervo, drink it, hold your nose, have to shoot something, or, or if you were
I'm
drinking
so sorry,
tequila,
Jose Cuervo
sorry,
and the
yeah,
Diageo Corporation. I like to put my voice. Please don't kill me in my sleep. Thank you
bleep
very
that.
much.
You can bleep those out like curse words.
Oh no, we don't have any posts. There's no post here.
Um, yeah, my bad about
No,
that.
that's okay. I'm just teasing with you.
And so,
If that's the worst thing that was ever said on one of these things, that would be amazing.
uh, or like if you're drinking tequila, it's required to cover it up enough that you can't taste the
Taste
tequila
it,
at
right,
all.
right,
Like
right.
that was the rule growing up, like in
It's an
college.
alcohol delivery system,
Yeah, it's
right?
just that was the thing. Until I went and actually spent time in Mexico. There's an underground current. It's kind of unique that does not exist here in the States, and I was lucky enough to see it. So families would grow small pinas in the backyard, for 9, 10 years at a time, and then they would just make small batch distill it themselves. And there's little competitions among families. These aren't sold. These aren't mass produced tequilas. These things aren't
This is
sold.
bragging rights,
Yeah, these are bragging. It's just
right?
bragging rights.
Yeah,
That's it. So that's the only way, only reason that they do it. And they'll one person will pull out a bottle and be like, "You should try this. Try
yeah,
this. Who has the best one?"
right.
I was like, what is going on here? And at first, whenever I first saw it happening, I was like, that's like, how are you guys sipping on tequila and not throwing up? And
Like here, try this. It tastes good.
yeah. Um, so that's whenever I experienced real tequila. That didn't at that time. Now there is. I'd say there's probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 tequilas in the store. You guys have several of them here, but where you can sip on it and get a full body, like a full palate. That was new to me because most tequilas, you guys know, you shoot it and it's just an ethanol burn. You can't taste anything at all. You're just trying to not throw
Yeah,
up.
as my cousin would say, get to the point.
Yeah, yeah. So that I experienced that, and being a sailor, rum's a big deal,
Right.
especially sailing around the islands. It's super accessible. Rum's really easy, so had a really big palate for rum. And there, you're drinking tequila like you are rum because tequila is it's lighter than rum, so it's easier to drink on a hot day.
Right.
So in Mexico, obviously, you're drinking more tequila than you are rum. So I fell into that crowd and I was like, man, this does not exist in the States. People in the States don't know about this at all. And again, with that, this is another thing I thought was really cool was most of those like 9, 10-year-old agave are coveted in Mexico. And it's like an unwritten rule that you don't sell 9-year-old agave to somebody bringing it to America because it's just going to end up in a margarita. There's no appreciation for it, the amount of
Hmm.
time it took to grow it or distill it. And I thought that was really neat. So that I got like a quick snapshot of what tequila really was. And then that was always in the back of my mind, sailing. And so yeah, so then I ended up in the point where we're, fast forward 2 years, I was down at the bottom of Cape Horn and I was like, you know what, man, if I like perfect world scenario for Taylor Grieger and his life. He's going to disappear on an agave farm in Mexico and never be heard from again. I'm just going to live down there, work agave farms until I make enough money to own a farm myself, and that's going to be my life.
Okay.
And probably
That's not a
still,
bad idea. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not going to poo-poo that one. That's a pretty good idea.
still, chances are still high that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I did that. We ended up surviving. Spoiler alert for the film, and um, went
Yeah. He wasn't sure.
went to went to Mexico, and where you go, Tequila, the city Tequila, Mexico, not just the region, but the city Tequila, Mexico. The way I describe it to people is Tequila, the town, is like China, but for tequila. There's 50, 60 distilleries lined up on it. Anybody that's been down there, it's a whole tourist industry built around tequila. So if you're looking to make a tequila and you have a lot of money and you send your assistant down to Mexico, you usually send your assistant to Tequila, Mexico, and you spend a couple days walking up and down the street asking what distillery can you put your label on.
Right.
That's kind of how it works. And so that's where I went. I went right to Tequila, Mexico. I didn't really know any better. And everyone down there thought I was some rich dude's assistant and would not work with me. For real, because I'm
Right.
asking questions like, "What farm do you guys use?" Because I want to work down there, right?
Right.
I
Right.
want to live. I want to live there, and I'm not getting answers. I'm getting shut down. Like, no, you can't just come down here and work here. Like to the point where, like, I'm on disability. I had a little bit of savings from the Navy. I did a lot of fishing, so I'd
Right.
sell mahi to hotels. That's how I saved up all my cash, mahi and
Nice.
tuna. Um, so I didn't need to get paid, and Mexico's super cheap to live if you're outside of a tourist town. So I'm at the point where I'm like, I'll work down here for free, man. Like, I just want to be a
Now they
part.
think you're crazy.
Yeah, now dude, that's
But
exactly
yet
what it
being
was.
an assistant, this guy's nuts.
like, yeah,
Don't listen to him.
this guy's crazy. I finally did get linked up with a farm who was a veteran in Houston, and I'm from the Houston area, so it was just kind of one of those social networking
Yeah.
things. Um,
He's not crazy. He's just from Houston.
Yeah. It's funny, even the industry does. If you have somebody else say that you're not crazy, usually people will listen to you then. But if it's you yourself saying, dude, I'm not crazy, I swear,
Sounds more
nobody's
crazy.
gonna believe you. Yeah. Yeah. So we did end up getting linked up with a farm. And while this is going on, like I'm working in Mexico.
Okay.
Now we're there. And this goes on for about a year. I'm back and forth between Texas and Mexico. And a year later, the documentary came out for Hell or High Seas, and man, it was like an explosion of emails from family members and veterans from all over the country. Like, I need to sail. Can I come with you? Or family
Okay.
members saying, my son or my daughter's getting
Uh,
out, and I don't know what to do. Can they spend some time with you guys? And I mean, immediately I was like, no, there's no way we can do this. I
right.
know at this point I know how much all of this is going to cost to do it, and
Yeah. Sailing's one of those type of things that ain't cheap.
it's not. Yeah, it's not. Especially if you're sailing outside of the country, just getting to places, plane tickets, it starts piling up. Bribing government officials adds up quick too.
And we'll take that out in post.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of bleeps.
No,
It's a joke. I'm joking. I don't bribe officials.
not in the U.S. anyways. Yeah, that's it.
And so that's when the real question happened was like, that's when it started hurting, man. That's when, like, I would say genuinely my heart started breaking. Um, was because there's so many people asking for help, and it wasn't just my guys that I deployed with.
Right.
It was expanded to holy crap, dude. There's like
Yeah.
this. There's a lot of pain. Um, and I think I don't know. You have a lot of time to reflect on these kind of things, but like
Yeah. When you're like days and months out in the ocean,
yeah,
right?
and um, I mean, I was a rescue swimmer. Like I like helping people. I think I'm on this planet genuinely to help people. I think it's a gift that God makes me super pissed off when people aren't getting the help they need. Like it's like an autistic tick of mine that I have where I can't stop until it
You're a
takes care
you
of.
know what? Actually, you're almost a true New Englander. We hate everybody and we're angry about everything, but we're the first person that will help you out,
I
right?
have I have
It will swear at you the entire time we're doing it,
I love it.
helping you, but we will like we'll genuinely jump in and help, and that's a certain type of person that will actually do that.
It's I think it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I
People
think it's
like
really cool.
people in Texas ask me because I travel, especially during spring and summer. I'm on the road full time, so my family takes a hit on that. But Samantha understands, and she'll ask me sometimes like, What's your favorite town? Like, where's all the places you go in the country? And I think that's the coolest thing about this job is I get to meet a lot of people in the country in
Right.
backwoods, middle of nowhere towns that I would have never known in my life. And every time somebody asks me like my favorite area of the country, the people is New England. And that's not that I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting
Buy
in front of you
tequila,
guys. It
New
really,
Englanders.
yeah.
No, this is.
No, it really is. I have a theory about that too, if
Do
you want
you?
to go down
Yeah.
that road.
Well, listen, we're here. Let's have it. Let you can
Yeah,
sip
sorry.
the first tequila while he tells you why he likes you.
Let me we're jumping around a bit, but
That's
this is
okay.
this is kind of cool because we were talking about palettes earlier,
Yeah.
and I think I don't, and you can jump in on this, please, too, because my theory about
Okay.
palettes is like everyone has a different palette, so I don't go too far into whenever I'm doing tastings with people. I'm kind of
Right.
like, what? They're like, how do
What do
you?
you taste?
Yeah, I'm like, well, what is it to you?
Right.
What are you getting?
That's the right answer, by
That's
the
what
way.
I okay. That's
That's
what
the
I.
right answer.
All right, sweet. I,
No, because listen, we've done plenty of tastings, and they all know that I will never tell them what they're tasting. I mean, if it's so obvious that, like, oh, you get vanilla, right? Everybody gets vanilla, right? Because a lot of people will tell you what you taste, and they lead you down what we call the primrose path, right?
yeah,
And we've done Randall and I, we've done experiments. We've been like, just taste the pineapple. There's no pineapple in it. There's no way it tastes it. And you'll get people that will raise their hand. And I didn't say this to make a fool out of somebody. I just meant to say, don't let me tell you what you're tasting. It's the last personal thing everybody has. Your phones follow you. They'll tell you what to buy. They'll do all of this stuff. They can't right now tell you what you taste. So, whatever you taste is what you taste. And if you like it, you like it.
yeah,
And if you don't, you don't. I mean, it's as simple as that.
that's reassuring. That's I came to that
Is that the
conclusion. I
way?
thought,
Yeah.
again, I think I'm crazy all the time when I think of this.
No, you're not crazy.
Um,
You're just thinking like you're thinking rationally, and then sometimes in this day and age, that knows people take
it's
that for crazy.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, well, I have the official tasting notes from the World Spirits competition
Well,
for
that's
this
good.
one. Yeah,
I mean, those
I
are
was
people
gonna
that do
read
this
that.
for a living.
I was
You
gonna
can read
read.
it.
I was gonna read it if you guys want.
Oh, I want them to taste it before you read
Okay.
it, though,
All right.
because then we'll do a little game. Everybody tastes it first, right? And then you're gonna read it, and then we'll see and if they don't get anything right, they have to leave. No, that's just they don't get to taste the next one. No, that's not true either. All right, let's try this though.
We'll start
So
with
if
the
you can't make
Blanco.
a good blanco, you can't make a good reposado, and you can't make a good añejo. You have to start with something good.
For pure tequilas, yeah. So the Blanco, real tequila, the Blanco, everything down the line is made with the same juice, the same agave. If it's not, we'll talk about this a little bit later. We can go into how to test tequila easily.
Yep.
They'll add flavor to it. Like the goal when you're harvesting a 4-year-old agave, the goal is to make it taste like a 9-year-old agave.
Yep.
So you'll add different flavors, and then the barrel has a significant impact on an añejo.
Correct.
A barrel should not have a significant impact on a reposado, but you should get a full body reposado, full body agave and reposado. But the Blanco, I think is the lightest. Blanco is my favorite, hands down. I could drink Blanco all day and be.
And you have.
We've tried
We've
it.
tried.
Um, So this is 9-year-old agave, no additives, no sugars. I make all of these batches, so I can tell you there's nothing in it. The ingredients are agave, water, and yeast, and that's it.
And there is a controversy right now for those of you who don't follow tequila. There is a controversy right now, and there's people going after other people, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. The Mexican government is the biggest one in this too. Is you can put 100% no additives, but you can actually put additives in it. So the government allows a certain amount of coloring and flavoring to be added as long as it's under a certain percentage and still be considered additive free.
Yep. So you could put 1% of the weight and volume of additives. So it's 700 milliliters. So you could put 7 milliliters of sugar
or whatever
color,
whatever you want, caramel coloring,
which is a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot. But as long as it's under the thing. So when you start saying, like, we can say it here and we can say it in front of you that if my only ingredients are for Blanco is only the agave, water, and yeast. For the Reposado, we'll add and the Anea will add one more, the barrel wood. Okay, but that's it, right?
Yep,
that's it.
Yep.
He's telling you right now what he put in it. So, did you guys try it? Did you save some? No, I didn't. They never save any. So you know, just so you know. More, please. Why did you just become an English orphan? They were like, more, please, sir. All of a sudden, I think, what was it? Oliver and Dodger are going to come out.
So the palate, there's a key word in here that they put in there that I don't think I ever tasted before, but now that I've read it, I cannot untaste it.
And that is sometimes a problem when somebody tells you that if you truly close your eyes, think about it, taste it, and it's there, they opened your eyes to something that you didn't know you were tasting. And sometimes people can't connect a flavor to something they can describe. And that's definitely legit. Your palate is your own, but if you can't connect the two, and then somebody goes, "Oh, do you taste this?" And you go, "Damn it, that's what it is. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was tasting it. I just didn't know what it was." Right? So, okay, we've all tasted it. All right, now give us the tasting notes. This just won a gold, right?
Yes, we are gold. I've been saying it's gold for years. No, again,
it's
dude,
silver.
It's you saying if it's you saying it's the best, everyone's like, you're crazy, but you gotta get somebody else.
So gold medal winner at San Francisco, which is one of I'd say one of the premier tasting competitions in the country, in the world, really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's no slouchy one. That isn't like Ryan Maloney's award system. Depending on how much you pay me, I'll tell you how good it is.
There's a couple.
That's the way just so you guys know, that's the way mine's gonna work.
Hell yeah.
I will be wearing. I don't think I'll be wearing an ascot, but a monocle. I will be wearing. All right, give us the tasting notes.
Okay,
Tyler. Before we go way off the rails here, give us the tasting notes.
This tequila opens with a clean, bright nose of woodsy citrus, classic agave, and a subtle hint of white pepper, unfolding into a soft, velvety palate layered with citrus, pink peppercorn, earthy notes, and cedar, finishing with a spicy agave-driven warmth that carries moderate weight.
So it tastes like tequila.
Yeah, that's what I read.
I would also put a little bit of green pepper in there too, like a bell pepper.
Yeah,
a little bit of that too, which is good. It's a little vegetal. Get a little black licorice.
I get a lot of people say licorice. I get a lot of
anise.
And yeah,
anise
seeds. Yeah,
anise seeds.
That's a pretty common one. Earth coffee.
I don't know what woodsy citrus is. So I may not know the common terminology for that one.
It's a lot
woodsy
of adjectives.
Citrus.
A lot of adjectives.
Can somebody explain woodsy citrus? Is that one that you rubbed over wood?
Maybe like a
lemon tree. The whole bark. You're saying? Furniture polish would not be a woodsy citrus. Pine sol. That's not what it is. That's not a woodsy citrus. You crazy man. All right. You know what I call it? Delicious. That
Yeah.
and by the way, everybody's going to taste it a little bit differently because you're all different in here. But the majority of the people have to like it, or you don't have a brand. So, what do you guys think? Good, good. This is a great one. This would be on ice, just on ice.
Does anybody else have any other kind of weird palates to it?
Anybody else taste anything different? Tucker, the Tucker dog wants some. Smartest dog in the room. And there are quite a few dogs in the. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave that one alone. So cute. Dogs. I love dogs. Yeah, you know that. This is good. All right,
Move on to the reposado time.
let's try the reposado. Now, reposado means rested in wood.
Rested.
How long are you resting it in wood?
Yeah, so this is kind of unique. Last time I was here, we just had Blanco and Reposado, and that's all I was ever going to make was Blanco and Reposado.
And what did I tell you? You're wrong.
Yeah, that's with everyone else. Everyone said that, so that's why there's an Añejo sitting in front of us.
That's right, because you were wrong.
Yeah, I was. I'll eat.
But
that.
you had to. You had white, blue, and you
Yeah.
needed the red. Come on,
It was meant to be.
it was meant to be. Meant to be. All right, the reposado. How long we rest on the reposado?
So because I was never going to make an Añejo, we rest it a little bit longer.
Right.
That
I
was
remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
I said, what did I say? Don't. If you make it, when you make, I think it was the exact words, when you make the añejo, which you will,
you
don't
didn't say that.
Don't
Exactly.
stop. Don't stop resting the reposado for as long as you do.
You did say that.
I know.
You're genius.
I wouldn't say that. But okay. So here's the reposado. How long are you resting?
9 months.
9 months.
9 months in a oak barrel. We char them, scrape out the char down to Mexico.
So you're really recharring the barrel. So even though it's probably ex bourbon,
Mhm.
you're not really going for the bourbon profile.
Yep.
You're going for the caramelized wood profile.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, and not the goal. The entire goal. I'll say this is the only goal when we made this reposado was rest it as long as you can without getting any barrel. 'Cause I
Okay.
didn't want the goal was to not overpower the agave, so you actually got the full agave. Because letting it rest does bring out more of the agave, and I would say that the reposado tastes like the agave as soon as after it's cooked. After you cook
Yep.
it and you just eat it straight up, like that's the flavor you get. It's like,
I will tell you one thing though. There is definitely some influence of the vanillins from the wood, from the toasted wood, right? Right? You guys getting that? So there is a not right away, but it is there. It is present, but it doesn't take over the spirit, which is really should be your goal. You
Right.
shouldn't only taste wood. You should. I understand what you're doing, and I think that's great. But there is another flavor in there, and that's because you're charring that barrel. You're making it. You're basically almost making you're not making a virgin oak barrel, but you're going back to like the barrel's roots.
Yep.
When you're doing it.
Mhm.
What do you guys think of this one? Good? Love it? What's the dog's name again? What does Tucker think? Tucker. No dogs were harmed. No dogs were harmed in the
2 paws.
2 paws up. All right. All right. So I do like this one. And then like we've had these now. We've been selling these pretty regularly and they've been doing very well. For what now? Like a year? Like a year?
Yeah, it's about this time
Salesman?
last year, yeah. Sean,
Almost a year, Sean.
Sean, you're on deck.
Sean doesn't want to be. Sean sits in the back and hopes I don't call on him. That's all Sean does. Toasted marshmallow. That's a good call on that one because it does have that. It doesn't have woodsy citrus in this one,
No,
but toasted marshmallow that's a good descriptor. Now all of you will taste toasted marshmallow. Those who didn't before. All right. Go ahead.
this was one that came from the spirits competition too. Was a pepper apple pie, and now every time I drink it, I'm like, dang man,
Now I want a pepper apple pie, which I've never had before.
I don't know, I don't know. What
But now I want
it's
one.
in my mind every time I taste it.
See the temptation that happens? Now I want one. All right. Well, that's great. Now, we have. You want to say anything more about the reposado?
No,
No?
Unless you guys have any. Do you guys
Anybody
have
have
any
any
questions too? This is an open forum.
This guy, what's up? I'm going to repeat the question
Okay,
after she does it so
cool.
people can hear us. Okay, so the peanut, have you tasted it raw and have you tasted it cooked?
For sure.
All
Yeah.
right, so what does it taste like?
Honey, it depends. So it depends. This is like
Have you tried it raw?
I haven't eaten it raw. No, I have not done
It's
that.
very fibrous, so it's
I
sort of like
yeah,
that would be sort of difficult, I think.
it's a lot of fiber
Yeah.
in there. But after you cook it, like even when you go down there, you can like you'll grill it as a dessert. Sprinkle a little cinnamon on it and put it on the grill. You can eat agave as a dessert down there. You know, you almost kind of eat it like an artichoke. Do you guys eat artichokes up here?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
All right.
We're somewhat sophisticated in that we have artichokes.
Dude,
sometimes.
I've met so many people who've never eaten artichoke in their whole life.
You guys have artichokes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
We got a big Italian population. We love artichokes.
got a big. I think that's why I love you guys. We got a big Italian population down in Texas too.
There you go.
So you eat it. It's kind of toothy, but it's super sweet. Like you think of the agave you buy in a bottle at
Yeah,
the
syrup. The
store.
syrup,
It's
right.
like a honey.
Right.
Super sweet. And then this is where the distinguishing factors come in, which I think I'm pretty good at. Like I think I could taste the tequila and tell you what region it's from. Usually can tell you what barrel it's rested in, if it's a Repo or an Añejo. So the Highlands, this is a Highlands tequila. This is a fun fact for you guys. Not a lot of people know this. So our farm's in Capilla de Guadalupe, 200-acre farm, the highest elevation in Mexico. It's the highest grown agave in Mexico, 2,200 meters.
No, you should probably put that somewhere.
And I know these are things. This is why I come see you. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a tequila marketeur. I just make.
Says the
I
guy
just
that
make
sells
stuff.
a lot of tequila, right?
That's why I
Yeah.
come hang out with you, so you
Yeah.
can tell me how I can do it better. Yeah. So at that elevation, that dry, arid makes massive, juicy piñas. So Highland tequilas have a super distinct sweetness to them. Whereas lowland tequilas are going to be a little earthier, and then Suerte are going to be a little bit fiery, drier, I can say. So this is a Highlands, like a purest of the pure Highland tequila you could get. So if you're looking for different regions of Mexico to get them, which I would recommend doing, I can go up and point out some really good ones from lowlands. You guys have some good lowlands tequilas up there, so that I like a lot. I respect.
Yeah, it's just a different. The final product just is different. It's not really one better than the other, but it's
Right.
what you're looking for. And you're right.
Yeah.
You sort of get some of those from the higher elevations. You get some more of that sweetness. So if that's what you're looking for, you tend to go up there. And this is a really good example of that.
If you get it from a wetter region, you're looking fruitier. It's kind of cool. So that's what this is. We're talking Highlands, specifically Highlands agaves here.
All right.
So you grill it, and then it's like you can eat it like a dessert. I mean, a lot of people do that, especially on the farm. Eat a little.
It's like a sort of like honeyish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always think, I don't know, probably because it looks like it. Because for some reason in my stupid head, it's always like pineapple, like a grilled pineapple.
It's exactly like a grilled pineapple.
Sort of like think that sort of like that fibrous but sweet sort of like meat off of it too. So
I use pineapple analogies all the time when I'm trying to describe agave, especially when I'm trying to describe the difference between a 3-year-old agave and a 9-year-old agave. 3-year-old agave.
I go with 6 years, but
Yeah,
that's
6
me.
3-year-old agave is like eating a super green, not a lot of juice in a pineapple where you're like chomping through it and it's really bitter. That's a 3-year-old agave. And then the older you get, the more it matures, more juice and flavor you get in that agave, which a 9-year-old agave is kind of where you
More depth too, more like depth of flavor too.
Yeah. And I'll say like 9 years a key for Highlands because it's so dry and arid, it takes longer for them to grow. But if you're getting like a lowlands or something, it depends on which region it's in. That's an easy Googleable thing. The proper age for an agave in what region. Like lowlands, you can get a good 6-7 year agave for sure. Highlands the air's thin, it's drier, it's not a lot of water, it takes longer.
After 9 years, does it sort of taper off? No, there's older ones, right?
Yeah, I've seen,
but
12.
You get to the point where
the problem is whenever the plant starts flowering and then
right.
it turns bitter. So that's the deal with agave. They actually have one growing. What is that? I saw it on the news the other day. There's a agave plant in front of a church in California where it's like a 30-foot flower growing.
Really?
Yeah.
Some guy is already going like this. He says, I'm going to make it'll be in my garage
Yeah.
and I'll be making that up.
Um,
And then I'll go back to Mexico and show them. I'll pull out my bottle and say, yes, try this. And he'll win the whole thing for the neighborhood. All right. So the one that was never going to be,
mhm.
I think you should name it that.
That's a
The
good name.
tequila that was never was going to be the añejo. And this is the new kid on the block, so to speak, right? And completing the flag colors of the United States in red is the añejo. Now, tell us what you did with this one, since you're already doing 9 months on this, which is just short of that, anyways.
Yep.
Right?
It's pretty complex process. Um, I put the Blanco in a barrel last February. It was
Okay. All right.
um,
The secret sauce is.
yeah, we just
But if you do this, you do the same thing you did with this. It's shaved down,
yes. Yep.
recharred.
Reused white oak barrel.
Yep.
Same process. Just all it is rest a little longer. It's a little softer on the palate. I think for me is a good word to use. Barrel forward. That lingers.
Yeah, you're still getting some. You're getting some of that barrel flavor, but the end on this one, the finish is really sweet. It's nice. It's almost it almost borders on. I'm gonna say it. I don't want anybody to be mad at me, but I'm gonna say it. The end almost borders on maple syrup or maple candy. Yes, yes, Lisa. Lisa, why'd you sit way in the back? Now I can't see you, and I don't know what you're saying. All right, everybody got to be here before you. That's right.
Lisa, you need to be on the stage with us next time.
It's a seat right. She wouldn't sit next to you, Steve, huh? Right there. Go, Lisa. What's your question? What did you do the anejo? For how many months?
14 months.
It's a little over a year. By my maths, that's a little over a year. 2 months over a year.
Ooh,
A balsamic glaze over fruit. Are you getting some of that?
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You started getting that savory and sweet at the same time. Is that what you're getting at? Okay. Let me try this again. See if I'm getting that. Once again, Lisa, you're correct. Did you hear that, Carol? She was right again. What's that? Your favorite one. We got to vote for favorite that you were never going to make.
Somebody asked.
Her
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
you were never going to make. 4 paws from time. The dog's off the ground. He's floating. He's floating over here. He's doing magic tricks. That's a good dog.
Yeah. Somebody asked me today if we're gonna start doing mezcal, which mezcal would just be making it here in the States. And I almost said no. I was almost said, no, we're never gonna do that. But then I thought about you guys and I was like, I hate those words. That's
I'll never say, well, not right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see where the world takes us.
We're focusing on what we have.
We just can't. Hey, you know what you always say? Can you give me a break? We just came up with this.
Oh yeah,
It's not like I can only do so much. I'm sailing all over the world. I'm taking these guys all over the world, and I'm putting out tequila. And I just did another one. You know, even God rested on the seventh day.
I learned that probably my biggest lesson I learned from Hell RSCs, other than like patience with myself, is you could. This is good. This is your pro tip for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. You could do anything in this world. You could survive your boat getting set on fire or pirates trying to kill you. You could survive 80-foot sea.
That was only on day 2, by the way.
In the worst part of the world. And there's still going to be people who critique everything you do and have something negative to say about everything you do. I think that's the best thing I took. Dude, especially becoming a salesman. That's awesome. I think of it as like
It's a double-edged sword.
I've got a superpower now
Yeah.
because I'm like, there's literally nothing you could say to me that's gonna make me take it to heart. So I think it's pretty cool. That's the pro tip for today. Yeah, yeah. If we do that, we'll do that.
He's already up to
I
it.
can't
Answering
answer
Neho.
these questions. Yeah, honestly, I'll tell you guys. We talk about this amongst ourselves. Once we get to a point. So here's like the
Here's
end
the
all.
business plan.
Yeah, I'll give you guys.
Okay.
This is the business plan.
Okay.
The moment, like I said, the only reason this exists and kind of our internal goal on when we know Cape Horn tequila is successful is the moment we get a skipper from one of our boats calls us from somewhere in the world and says, the mainsail just ripped. A new mainsail on one of our boats is about anywhere between 18 to 22 grand, depending on where you source it at that time. We don't have $18,000 in our bank account to say, here's a new mainsail, get it in. So the day we get a call, they rip a sail, and our response is, new mainsail will be there in 2 days, wherever you are in the world. That's the moment we know Cape Horn tequila is successful. And whenever that happens, is whenever Taylor starts getting crazy with this. And there's things that I want to do when we have the time and resources to be able to do it, to experiment with the tequila, different casks. Like I really want to use. I want to try out a sherry cask. I want to try a Chardonnay cask for sure. One of the representatives from ICO Importers, our importing company that we work with. She came from the wine world, and I spent a lot of time talking with her. I love her palate, the way her mind works
Yep.
about how the process is.
Yep.
I think it's almost exactly identical to like the real agave industry. Like, what soil was it in? How much water to get? What region is it from? What kind
Right.
of flavors do you get? And you can get there with tequila. So I talk with her a lot about that. I think those are the kind of cool. So if you guys ever see really crazy bottles start coming out, like different things,
He's made it,
you
folks.
know,
He's made it.
Cape Horn tequila has
Well,
like
if you're going to be a real New Englander, we'll have to send you down a barrel of Moxie. Do you know what Moxie
I
is?
don't.
We'll show you. We actually did a barrel of rye, aged in a barrel that we seasoned with Moxie, which is a New England soda. They actually have a Moxie festival up in Maine, and it's a lot of like it's terrible tasting.
That's what they're saying.
Terrible tasting. But wait. But when you mix it with rye, it changes everything. And this is how much it changed it. And I'm going to point it out to you. Do you know we only entered one thing in San Francisco this year? Gold medal, 90 points. Roxy, rye aged in Moxie,
Wow.
and it did really really well. So we'll have to send that barrel down to you in Mexico.
Yeah. Dude, that would be cool. We could do like
No,
a
it would
joint.
taste terrible. I'll tell you right now. Tequila, and Moxie. I don't think so. No, that's not one of the ones I'd send you.
We
But I
don't
would. I
know.
might send you something else.
Don't know.
Maple syrup barrel. I might send you.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. So he could send us the tequila barrel.
Oh,
We'll do a
that.
project here
That's an easy
with the
thing.
tequila barrel.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is the Reposado a little darker in color than the Añejo? No. Where's your eyes? I know that's what I was waiting.
Yeah.
I was so waiting for somebody to say you have to pour us more so we could tell.
It's got a little more of a tint to it, but not a full.
But here's the thing that you're not thinking about. You've made sort of you've recharred these things, so the color is not going to be always representative of the flavor because you've recharred them. And even though it's aging in the barrel longer, you don't have those ups and downs that would bring it in and out of the wood as much. And your goal is sort of not have the wood sort
Not
of
have the
take
barrel
over
influence. Yeah.
the barrel not take over the tequila all the way. You just want to give a nice influence. You don't want it to be what we call a one note,
Yeah.
where it's only tasting wood. and you've lost the spirit of the tequila. And I think you do that here. So I think that's really cool.
That was actually super intentional to have completely frosted bottles because whenever I first started bottling tequila, everyone in the industry was like, it needs to be clear bottles so you can see the color. And I was like, real tequila, the color is the least significant thing
Of the flavor,
about,
right?
yeah.
It's not it doesn't need to be indicative
There's
of
no
it.
influence.
And then here's the other part of that too. You're gonna have bottles of the same reposado that are gonna be different shades. And then people are gonna like, well, I want that one, not that one,
Yeah.
and they're gonna start looking at them weird. They did something wrong. They changed it. They did this. They did that. So I don't think you're crazy for
Thanks, man.
doing it. Well,
I don't hear that often.
when Ryan Maloney tells you you're not crazy, that means absolutely nothing. So, but I just let you know. But it is one of those type of things. If you're not using like, and that's why a lot of these companies use caramel coloring because
Yeah,
they can make everything look uniformly the same color.
it is the reason that they do that. Yeah.
You know, when you're doing things. Well, listen, I think this is great. I'm so glad we have the full boat here now, so to speak, the full boat, with the red, white, and blue. I think it's a nice addition. I think it's a natural line extension, and I think what's great about this is you can taste that they all have the same DNA. So
Yeah.
nothing's gone askew. The fact you go like, well, this is sort of an outlier now, and that doesn't happen. So listen, I want to tell you, we've been selling your product for almost a year. We've done really, really great with it. We're so glad you came back for your third time. And we just wanted to say thank you. And we also wanted to give some money to maybe getting a little bit closer. It's only $300, but maybe getting a little bit closer to that sale where
That's
you can actually
incredible,
call
man.
up. And I wanted you to have that. And that's part of the proceeds of what we've been selling has been going put aside for your charity.
Skeleton Crew Adventures. It's right there.
That's right. That's right.
Thank
Thanks,
you, man.
Thanks.
That's incredible.
Really appreciate it.
That's real.
We really appreciate it coming back. Don't get used to that. No,
That
just
is-
easy.
that's
We
so
actually
nice.
are looking at how we can continue with our supplier too, with our wholesaler. He doesn't know it yet. With our wholesaler yet, to actually maybe continue this on where part of the proceeds do go back to you.
That's man.
So we
you
are
guys
working
doing
on
good.
that. So keep that in mind. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. We really appreciate it, especially on a nice Wednesday night. Finally, we had some nice weather, and they're in here. You know, unless you're drinking tequila, so that's all I can say, anyways. But thanks for coming tonight. You can always check this out on It's the Liquor Talkie wherever you get your podcast. Cousin Vinny will have this out probably tomorrow. Wherever you get podcasts, is Spotify or Apple or wherever. That's on there. You can always go to the Julio's Liquors Facebook page and try it there. We're gonna say goodbye to all the people that are on Facebook. Goodbye, but you really should have been here sometime because it was awesome.
Absolutely.